Whispers dance where the eagles fly. The earth it hums, a warning cry. The world awaits the break of dawn.
Stealing hand, hearts ignite, echoes call through endless night. Rise up, the dawn is near. The call of legends loud and clear. Through fire and frost,
Oh, the new intro's coming along. It should be done, maybe next Friday. I might have it done by next Friday. Because right now I'm actually building 3 new intros. I'm building one for Sunday. I've started the one for the Monday night one, and now I'm halfway done with the Tuesday night one. So the new Tuesday night intro is going to be more about the city, and then have all the player images at the end, or all the character images at the end for sure. Oh, Tuesday night. Hey, Xander, it's really cold here in Southern California. It's like
About freaking time.
it's like 42 degrees, man. It's cold.
Oh, that's not even
I have the
cold.
space heater on.
That is not even
I'm in a
cold.
fluffy, fuzzy sweater. It's
eating
cold.
ice cream.
Eating ice
Eating
cream.
ice
Eating ice cream, yes.
A little counterproductive, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's why the heater's on.
Balances everything out. As long as it balances everything out. Oh my god, it's hysterical.
Where did we even leave off? I don't remember.
Well, luckily for you, I do. I put it in the
Good.
session. It's in the session notes. I posted the session notes a couple days ago. So
I listened to the recap, but I don't remember. I know we left the demon guy, but I don't remember after that what happened.
I gotta look up the session notes.
So, where we left off. The party awoke at the Laughing Lamia to find that Lamia had left for the Shale, leaving behind a mysterious coin found by Dariax. Zatina identified the object as an infernal soul coin, likely used as a component for a magical gate or teleportation ritual. Bludgeon spent the morning harvesting venom from his snake before the group headed to the promenade for supplies. The shopping trip proved fruitful. Bludgeon acquired a silver garrote and gloves of thievery. Rymic purchased a collapsible shield like bracer, and Eldera bought a hat of the osmosis.
Oh my god, I totally wanted that hat of prestidigitation. Oh my god, because I listened. Well, I watched you guys on YouTube.
While useful for disposing of evidence, Rymic remains convinced that the hat is cursed, and he is the only one who can see it smiling and licking its lips from time to time. The group tracked the wagon to a dilapidated warehouse guarded by a sleeping Et. While Eldera and Rymic took positions on the roof and Zatina sneaked through a wall, Bludgeon rappelled down to ambush the giant. In a display of terrifying efficiency, Bludgeon unleashed a flurry of poisoned strikes, killing the Etten instantly before it could even wake. However, the violence triggered a traumatic flashback for Bludgeon. He imagined that he was back on the battlefield in Vasselheim, seeing his companions as dead soldiers. Rymic managed to snap him out of the trance with a magical snowball. Uncovering the wagon, the party found it coated in dried blood and infernal ruins. A voice from within, identifying itself as a bone devil named the Soul Drinker, began taunting them, reacting violently to the proximity of the soul coin. Realizing the wagon was exerting a corrupting psychic pressure on their minds, the party wisely retreated out of the warehouse. Seeking answers, the group visited Stefan Gilmore, who identified the vehicle from Percy DeRollo's journals as a doom wagon, a containment device used during the battle against Vecna to hold powerful fiends. The session concluded at the Azalea Street Park, while Rymick shared wine and received mushrooms from the eccentric gardener Greenwich. The party gathered inside the temple. Sister Lethwin prepared to explain the connection between the wagon and Bludgeon's memories, beginning with a tale about the Crimson Bride and the three fates. I believe that's exactly where we last left off, as the group was gathered in the rectory together, everyone here, including Cassandra, listening to Lethwin begin to tell this story. Long ago, there was a period of time known as the Calamity. This was a great war between the prime deities and the betrayer gods. This is the very definition of how divinity was established in Exandria. Here, the betrayer gods shattered the face of Exandria, and the city of Vasselheim was the only great city that stood as the last bastion of hope. It was here, during the battle known as the Barbed Fields, that the forces of the betrayers laid siege to the Dawn City, seeking to extinguish its divine light from civilization forever. However, standing against the tide of demons and darkness were three fates. These three fates were the daughters of a mortal emperor who had pledged his lineage to the defense of the world. They were champions of the prime deities, each bearing a sigil of divine favor on their armor. One, known as the Sister of the Sun, given herself over to the dawn, she was a great red-headed warrior that stood in front of the gates of Vasselheim, preparing to receive the onslaught of the fiends that were on their way. Here, this woman, some say that she is accompanied by a wolf, and some say that she exists in two forms. Her blazing red hair and the ability to command and understand wolves have some to believe that perhaps she is a werewolf herself. Although the myths and mysteries that surround her have long since been lost to time, since the Battle of the Barbed Fields took place many, almost 1,000 years ago. Here, the second sister and the second daughter, she is called the Sister of the Storm, a black-haired woman who committed herself to Cord, the Stormlord, bearing the champion's mark, holding a great lightning bolt in her hand. Some say to see her fight was to see the Stormlord himself fight amongst the mortals. Finally, the Sister of the Wild, bearing the tree and having a direct connection to Melora, and some say that she planted the first seed of the Sun Tree upon the earth or the land of Exandria. These three fates came into existence because of this emperor. Some call this emperor the Strife Emperor. Some say he, out of a sense of desperation and intent, took a bride that became known as the Crimson Bride. These two then gave birth to the three daughters, who became the three fated sisters, each one giving themselves over to different deities. This great household came into existence solely in the purpose of defending the Dawn City, the great city of Vasselheim, at this most urgent time of need. However, some say the Strife Emperor made a bargain with either Grumush, the god of orcs, or possibly a betrayer god known as Bane, in hopes of infusing a sense of power amongst his 3 daughters. Therefore, after they had taken their oaths, they had become the Sisters of Fate, because their family made 2 very difficult choices. And their legacy was established in the difficulty of this choice. After the Battle of the Barbed Fields, and Vasselheim barely survived the incursion, there was a period of time during Divergence that the city slowly rebuilt, but the memories and the myth of this family was lost to time. However, it is believed that during the battle with Vecna, during his attempted accession, not too long ago, before the period of restoration had begun, and near the ending period of Divergence, some say that these 3 fated sisters would mysteriously appear on the field of battle. They would find themselves in and amongst great fights that were very dire. People that nearly lost were saved by mysterious outcomes. It was even said that these 3 may have been directly involved in weakening the ability of Vecna to complete his ascension, although the only known recording of this was by Percy de Rollo himself. Because after the great battle, he went to retrieve one of his engineering marvels. A marvel that I think you and your friends have discovered. He called it a doom wagon. These particular marvels were constructed with the sole purpose of capturing powerful demons and fiends, because the de Rollos have a very detailed history with powerful demons and fiends. And after nearly surviving possession of one of the most powerful fiends in the 9 Hells, de Rollo promised himself that he would always construct and dedicate himself to make things that would protect those from the possibility of such things. I think the 5 of you have stumbled upon something. My order has no connection to this doom wagon. Unfortunately, Cassandra, this is not what our order is looking for, and I believe it's not what your order is looking for as well. Wherever this doom wagon has come from, it's been stolen. It should not be in the possession of anyone other than the engineers of Whitestone. I'm not entirely sure what you should do about this. Not entirely sure who we should report this to or how to proceed. And based on your information, it sounds like there's something inside of it that is meant to stay inside of it. And if this smuggler, Padway, has fallen in, well, if it's fallen to their hands, I would assume she is looking for the highest bidder to buy it and take it off her hands. And I'm sure she's already finding it to be quite, how should we say, troublesome. She closes the book. Not quite sure how much more I can help you with this information.
Well, if it should be under the protection of the de Rollos and Whitestone, then it would seem they would be the people to contact.
I could send out information, but my only contact that I have here in the city would be the professor himself, who's been overseeing the engineering of the new citadel that's replacing the old one. And from my understanding, he's gone missing. My concern is that any message I send to Whitestone will simply defer me to Dormir, and not entirely sure if they are a reliable party upon which we can locate.
Remind me who the Was it a nephew of the Durolos? What was his name that we met? He was looking for Professor Dorn.
Was he in the library?
Micah Durolo?
I think he was in the library. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the library. What about Micah Durolo? We saw him a couple days ago here in the city.
One of the adopted nephews of the Durolos. I was not aware that he was in the city. I think
Yeah,
he would
he
be
was
an
looking for
excellent
Professor Dorn.
candidate. He could be an excellent candidate to have this conversation with.
Well, we have to do it soon because that thing, well, it might get moved quicker because you guys, took out the guard. Wait, did I know that?
Oh yeah, you knew that.
Okay. So you guys took out, the two-headed
Everybody
Etten.
about it.
So it might get moved sooner, so we got to move fast.
Well, the question is,
So do we take the wagon and hide it?
Yeah, but how do we move it?
No idea. Supposed
It's
to move-
huge and has no way to hook up horses.
not to mention it gives off very intense psychic waves of energy as well,
Yeah.
that makes it very difficult to interact with it. On top of that, there is a rather interesting demon inside of it that seems to enjoy torturing people that get too close to it. Psychically, that is.
Do you think we could move it with a tarp on it? It seemed to behave when it was covered up.
Maybe. I mean, how are they moving it? How are they moving it? They got to be moving it somehow. Is there anything in the notes about how to move it?
It's self-powered.
Oh, we push a
Nothing
button
specific.
and
I
tell it
mean-
to go forward.
Nothing really specific in the notes.
Have you never watched a bandit ambush before?
Watched? No.
Been a part of a bandit ambush?
I can neither confirm or deny.
Good answer. That thing is too dangerous to be around too very close. So we let them do the work. We let them move the cart. And then we ambush them and take the cart to where we want to go. That way we will see how they move it. And try to replicate it, if it's horses or if it's magic or whatever it may be.
Maybe it was the Etten.
It very well could have been the Etten, as I glance over at
Yeah, it's like-
over at Bludgeon.
I mean, he was over 10 feet tall. He was quite large and muscular. And actually, Lyra, give me a nature check on that one, if you would, please.
Okay. It's my nature.
But the thing is, how would they have gotten? Now that I think about it, how did they get an Etten into the heart of the city with nobody noticing?
Interesting question. What'd you get,
25.
Lyra?
25.
25. You know enough about Ettins that they are known for their very simple and rather lack of intelligence. You get the feeling that this wagon probably feeds on those that are more psychically kind of sensitive to things. The Ettin would be a great thing to use to move the wagon, although it'd be a little strange seeing that happen in the middle of the city, per Zatina's point.
Yeah, but they were talking about moving it and meeting them there at like midnight, so it would be moved at after dark.
Still, it's
Easier
a busy city.
That's true.
But physically, it would appear that that would be the best option. for physically moving the wagon. The Etten would probably be mostly immune to the psychic energy and strong enough to be able to haul the wagon. The wagon's clearly meant to be moved. It's just not meant to be moved in probably the more traditional ways.
I have an idea, but I don't want to say it in front of Mr. Lethwin. Okay. Because my ideas are, not legal. So. Okay. Well, so we need to find our own Etten to move it. I just think their timetable is going to change, given that their guard and potentially horse replacement is now dead.
Well, I mean, at this point, this happened. Have we had a long rest since it happened?
No,
I don't think so. Right? We haven't had a long rest since it happened.
No, they
So-
can't here.
You're not entirely sure if anyone even has noticed anything about it yet. If
Right,
the
but if we
timetable is by midnight,
Tonight.
and midnight tonight would be the limit to timing wise. If there's anything you wanted to do before midnight, but chances are there's still a dead Etten in the warehouse and the wagon. There's been no other indicators of anyone of concern moving through the promenade, or there's been no word on the streets. All the patrols and guards of the different districts have been pretty much behaving as normal. And
We
I
can
think
get 2 horses.
this little
Look it up.
adventure was in the afternoon, right? Like around the afternoon, early afternoon, after you did some shopping.
Yeah, it was pretty early in the day.
I mean,
If we do steal the wagon, what are we going to do with it? We could get some horses and drag it out of there. But we
Give
would
it to Micah DeRollo to take back to Whitestone.
sell it to them, make some money.
I mean, I'm hoping that there would be a reward for finding something that they got, had stolen from them. Not necessarily, hey, we found this and we'd like to sell it to you. But hey, we found this and can you give us a reward for finding it for you?
maybe he would have some idea of where it needs to go or how to move it.
Isn't it supposed to go to Whitestone? Maybe.
Yeah, but you just don't want to rock up to Whitestone with a doom wagon, I don't think. That will end well.
No. I'm not saying we rock it up to Whitestone. I'm saying we hand it to Micah DeRollo to walk it up to Whitestone. I don't want to leave him on. I don't want to go all the way up to Whitestone. I'm happy here. I got my place.
But I'm thinking maybe he knows who to contact and to figure out how to move it safely. And maybe
Some
he
giant spell
knows
that makes it bounce from one spot to the next.
maybe he knows exactly where it needs to go.
Should we try and
Rather
find
than
Micah?
just two-way.
Or we just tell them we know where it is, and for a fee, we'll tell you that location. And we just wipe our hands from the whole thing.
Legend's all about the money.
Legends about solutions.
The solution of I need more coin in my pocket. Okay. So should we try and track down Micah? When was it that we saw him?
A couple
Was
days
that-
ago, I believe, in the Lyceum, in the Alabaster Lyceum at the Arcane Library.
Yeah. That was a couple days. Yes. That was several long rests ago. He was looking for Professor Dorn, who's from Whitestone. Maybe Professor Dorn's not the bad guy.
Am I making you guys think too much on a Tuesday night?
We need
At that
oh my
time,
god.
was looking for Professor Dorn.
Yeah.
We're presuming that Professor Dorn got this wagon out of one of his adventures, right? I mean, where did the wagon come from?
I don't know if it was Professor Dorn or it was Padway. Was Professor Dorn and Padway working together? I think so, right? Maybe? Yeah. Well, shoot, if we give it to Micah, he could be who Professor Dorn, got it from, stealing it from Whitestone. Maybe that's the bad. Oh, crap.
I think it's worth it, at least a conversation.
Sounds like
mean,
our only
conversation is
lead at the moment.
Do we know anyone else who's connected to Whitestone? No?
I like how you're asking us new party members like we know as much as you do.
I mean, there's always your.
I still don't even know who this Dorian fella is.
was Dorn.
Dorn.
Professor
Professor Dorn. He's the guy that initially hired us to go someplace crazy that almost killed us and disappeared us.
And from my perspective, you guys went into a warehouse and created a whole bunch of chaos, and now everybody's trying to kill you.
Well, to be fair to Rymick, you helped them break into Professor Dorn's office. That was the
right.
Yeah,
Right. But I'm still under the guise of that they went into his warehouse and created a bunch of crap, and now they're paying the consequences for it. I wasn't there.
Hold on, I gotta make sure Sebastian didn't put bananas on the couch. Because he's singing about bananas on the couch.
That poor couch. We just bought that couch.
Oh, now it's a banana split.
Look between the cushions.
Okay, it's not bananas. He's just playing with a snake on the couch. It's okay. And he's going bananas, but not
And he's
having
going bananas. That kid's been bananas for days.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
How did you know that's what I was doing?
for the time being, let's assume that we need to keep an eye on the location. I will send Cassandra and a couple members of the Cobalt Soul with her to go and keep an eye on the warehouse. At least if anyone comes and goes, we'll be aware of it. My suggestion would be to go with your original plan to track down Micah DeRollo. If he has a direct ability to contact Cassandra DeRollo, Percy's sister, then perhaps we can request advice from them. I do know that doom wagons are very dangerous unless controlled appropriately. And if it is occupied and we don't know the source of how the creature was contained, who contained it, and any powers associated with this containment, it can be difficult to understand the functionality of this wagon as well. So be mindful of that the next time you encounter it. For now, me, Cassandra, we are going to head over to the Cobalt Souls headquarters, have a conversation with a friend I have there, and we'll take care of keeping an eye on the warehouse. I'll leave the rest up to you. Cassandra? Cassandra gets up and follows Lethwin out of the temple, and for now, the five of you are alone in the pews of the temple. I'm going to call it late afternoon at this point.
Okay. Let's go find... What's his name?
Micah
The
DeRollo.
Derulo. Micah Derulo. Let's go find Micah Derulo. He was up at the library.
Right.
We'll see if can we still get into by where the engineer's office is? You know, because we like broke into it and they like hammered down on security.
I would say that when you guys walked through the central district and headed over to, or as you were walking through the central district to get to Azalea Park, where the current temple is located, that you're in, there was a noticeable increase in the Citadel guards up at the Cloud Top entrance. Somebody probably would have assumed somebody had broken in to Professor Dorn's engineering workshop for sure. But God, his hair's gotten so long.
Daddy.
Say hi, Daddy.
Hi, Sebastian.
Hi, Daddy. Hi, Daddy. The monster say hi, Daddy.
The monster say hi, Daddy.
It's a monster hand.
Oh, his monster
Yeah.
hand.
Hey.
It's funny when you see him on camera. He kind of looks like those little medieval princes that their hair got really long and in the shape of like a mushroom cap. It's pretty funny.
Would listening to Lethwin's story and stuff, could that have counted as a long rest or short rest?
Definitely would count as a short rest. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyone who wants to click off a short rest, feel free.
Get a couple of spell slots back.
Do we know of a DeRollo compound? If this is a famous family, do they have a section of a city that they call their own?
Not within Emon, as far as you know, they don't. So far, the only connection you've run into so far is Micah, who is a engineer of the Whitestone Academy, and Professor Dorn, who is a professor of the Whitestone Academy. Chances are, if they do keep any kind of residency here, it may be either north of or south of the Promenade District, or possibly, let me take a look at the map as a reference. Possibly they could be in the Erudite quarter, or potentially in actually they could also be they could either be in the military district or the Erudite quarter. The Erudite quarter is usually the place where the people who run this city reside, or people of influence, or former adventurers that have retired will often have settled in the Erudite quarter, because the Erudite quarter also holds a rather large university or learning type academy there as well. That's where the Alabaster Lyceum is located, I believe, is in the Erudite quarter. Which means that's probably why you ran into Micah, because he's probably staying there somewhere.
And that is where the library was, what we call the library.
Correct. The Alabaster Lyceum.
Go look there.
Let's do it.
As you guys head out of the temple and you head out of the Azalea Park area, you begin to use the main road to head over towards the gate that will allow you into the Erudite quarter. Everyone give me perception checks, if you would, please, during this walk.
Does everybody get advantage because of my map, or just Rymek?
Just Rymek.
Okay.
Or whoever's using the map. So technically, if you handed it off to Bludgeon to use it, he would get advantage. So whoever's in physical possession of it gets advantage.
I got a 23.
23.
19.
Nice.
18.
Nice. What'd you get? What'd you get, Bludge?
22.
22. You guys are a pretty aware group right now. Walking through this part of the district, there are a rather unusual groups of people that are clustered together and behaving in kind of like Irish gossip circles. You know how people get together in like groups of 5, 10, or 15, and they're clearly excited about something. You could tell that something has drawn the attention of the crowd as you walk through it. As soon as you get to the erudite quarter, you can see there's a rather large crowd of Emon citizens gathered around the alabaster stairs that lead up to the entrance. There's at least around 100, maybe 200 people. You could see that the crowd's a bit rowdy. Their fists are up in the air. Every now and then, you could hear someone yell out, "Liar! They lied to us again!" You could hear a woman's voice, "Explain why they're missing. Quit the lies!" So this kind of yelling going on. You can see this kindly old man like standing on top of the stairs with his hands out, just trying to calm the crowd. "I assure you, as soon as we know something, we will get the information to you. But for now, you must be patient, please. Guards, would you please disperse this crowd? This is not helping us in any way." You see that the erudite the erudite guards are in the process of kind of like trying to disperse people, get them back on the streets, get them away from the stairwells. You guys kind of meander through the crowd. They're not really paying all that much attention to you. And before long, the crowd is dispersed and you guys are walking up the stairwells, and you notice this old man is just kind of leaning up against the wall, just kind of shaking his head. He looks exhausted. He looks tired. He kind of senses both the quiet and your footsteps behind him, and he kind of, "Oh, hello, I'm terribly sorry, but the Lyceum is closed today. There's been an unfortunate incident, and as he's talking to you, you look beyond him. You can see that there's a area of the library where people would normally sit right down and like copy and do work and do activity after retrieving books. It is a disaster. There's like tables turned over everywhere. Chairs are broken. There's like charcoal marks on the walls. There's at least one bookcase that's been toppled over. One of the windows has been blown outward. And you could see an individual who is cautiously walking and pacing through the scene. She has a journal open, so she's clearly taking notes. She's marking things. She's looking at things. She's investigating. The old man, "I'm terribly sorry, but if you could possibly come back another day, that would be be better, I think." And good afternoon. He just kind of turns around, walks away, lifts up the rope of the cordoned off area that this woman is working in. The woman looks at the old man and then looks past the old man and then looks at the five of you near the entrance, and she gets a quizzical look on her face, and she gets this like very genial smile, and she starts walking towards you, lifts up the rope, and comes over to stand in front of the five of you. "Hello, I am Captain Raya. Pleasure, I'm sure. there was mention a couple days ago that some of you were seen here in the Lyceum. I believe you had a conversation with a young man that goes by the name of Micah DeRolo.
A brief conversation.
Was
Madam?
there anything unusual about your conversation with Mr. DeRolo? Was there any concern, any nervousness, any hint of possible concerns of his safety, perhaps?
No, he was waiting for Professor Dorn.
Wow. He was waiting or looking, or so he was waiting for Professor Dorn.
I believe he had been waiting for a few hours at that point, but he did not.
I think
look-
he'd said 4.
Interesting. So you do remember seeing him here at least 2 days ago.
Out of character. It was more than 2 days ago, wasn't it?
I think it was,
I think it was 4 days ago.
could be 4 days ago. Yeah. Could
Okay. I think. So I'll tell her. I think it was 4 days ago.
be. Oh, interesting. Well, we had an unfortunate incident here first thing this morning. Evidently, we had witnesses report that young DeRolo was speaking with somebody that we have been yet to identify. There was a rather large explosion in the room, and both the person he was speaking with and Micah himself are now missing. We are trying to figure out what happened.
Missing, I hope not dead.
We have
Just
no
missing?
evidence to either one. We have
Well,
no
that's
sign
good.
of a body. We have no sign of blood. All we have is the remnants of the explosion and the absence of both people.
That's terrible.
Well, if you have nothing more to offer, I'm afraid the Lyceum is closed. Good day. She turns around and heads back into the area that she was investigating. What would you guys like to do next?
Damn.
Can I don't know how close we are to where the actual explosion happened.
Maybe a couple 100 feet away from it.
Can
Are there any animals around?
With that recent perception check, you could see like flights of birds in the trees. You could see little field mice running along the base of the stairs and near the front of the Lyceum. But no, like, I would say you see some cats kind of like lingering around the gardens as well.
I'm gonna go to one of the cats.
Okay.
I'm
What were you
gonna
saying?
cast Speak with animals.
What were you saying, Zatina?
I was gonna say, does I'd have to get closer to answer that question. 200 feet's too far away, probably.
Are you trying to figure out what you think the explosion might have
was gonna
caused?
say, was it like an explosion through via mechanical means or a spell?
You're close enough that you can give me an Arcana check.
That is a 15.
15. It definitely looks like it was magical. Definitely looks like a spell. But you're not entirely sure what spell, because for that you would need to be closer and take samples. Almost as if some spell went off in the room and caused all the destruction. You're just not really sure what kind of spell it was.
Does it look like one explosion, or was there a battle of some sort in there with many?
It looks like there are two explosions, one small, one large.
Can I search for some tracks or kind of see if anybody came in or out?
on the outside of the Lyceum, like in the gardens and the grounds around it? Because getting inside, unfortunately, you can't get inside the Lyceum right now.
Yeah.
On that one, you can give me a survival check.
That's 11.
11. As you kind of, since you guys are kind of like, Lyra's gone off to identify a cat to talk to. Zatina is like trying to look at, like, Zatina and Bludgeon are trying to get a more kind of like physical makeup of what happened. Rymek, you come out, down the stairs, and you follow the topiaries and the gardens that border the Lyceum's foundational structure. And as you follow that, you find yourself near the window that would have been nearest where the explosion took place. You can even see smoke and soot on the outside, some surface cracks from the impact of the explosion. Once again, it felt as if the explosion happened outwardly. There are multiple sets of footprints by the window, but they're kind of in a condition where it's hard to tell who and what was here. But there was definitely a lot of footprints here, so you're not sure from people that heard the explosion or maybe people fleeing from the explosion. But since you're over here, give me an investigation check, if you would, please.
I'm gonna cast guidance on myself because that was horrible. That's a D4, right? Yeah.
Yep, D4.
10.
10? Well, you don't see a specific trail that's distinguishing who and what. You can't help but notice about maybe 40 feet out into the nearby park that this side of the Lyceum faces. You can see what looks to be a culvert or a drain cap that allows the park to drain when it rains. It's maybe 3 feet around, and it looks like it's slightly elevated. It looks like somebody has used it recently.
I'll go over and get closer to it, investigate that.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation on that.
$15.
15. You can see crowbar marks on the edge of it. You could see at least one set of footprints. You could also see the impression of a medium-sized figure's body that was lying on the ground, and then it looks like somebody was dragged into the sewer.
I'll look back at the party doing their thing, and then I'll do a quick jump down into the sewer.
Yeah, the sewer looks not very heavy. It's only 3 feet around. It's pretty thin. It's a drain cover from best you could tell. As you pop it open really quick and you look down, you can see little metal rungs of a ladder that go down about 10 feet. And it looks like it's just a simple catch basin for when water pours into it. Give me a perception check as you look down inside.
Ooh, 28.
Wait.
Not 20.
You can see a boot down there, absent a foot. So it looks like whoever was dragged down here, one of their boots fell off and is sitting down at the bottom of this sewer basin.
I'll slide down the rail and sniff the boot to pick up a scent.
Okay. As you slide down the rail, you get to the bottom. It's a large square basin that's got maybe about 3 inches of water in it currently because it's been pretty dry. It hasn't been raining all that much lately. And you can see that it goes off to the right and left. And it looks like it curves and goes off in the direction of maybe other drains. And and then it all looks like it drains towards a central basin that all these tunnels might eventually lead you to. The tunnel to your right, you see obvious drag marks. Somebody was struggling to drag someone through the mud and the muck of this particular pipe, and it seems to go on for about maybe 100 feet.
I'll follow.
Are you being stealthy?
Yes.
Give me a stealth check.
19.
19. As you follow the length of pipe, it's only about 3 feet tall by 3 feet wide, which is why there's lots of sign that someone came through here. You eventually find the other boot at the end of that 100-foot length of pipe. You get to a section where it branches off towards other basins, but there's a whole nother drain that you get to where the lid is off. You can see the drag marks go over into this new drain that goes down another 20 feet. And you can smell seawater, and you can hear the surf is kind of echoing on the drain. You get the feeling that down below is probably the drain that will eventually take you out to where the Emon dock areas are and where the beaches and everything are. That feels like the main drainage out to the sea.
Puts his hood up over himself, and then he's gonna
Yay, Aldira's back.
Hi, Adira. He's going to put the boots underneath his arm as he slides down that 20-foot one.
Okay, as you slide down, it's a little bit deeper. There's a very, very long tunnel. It's very dim and dark down here as well. But the drag marks continue off in that direction. Do you want to follow?
Yes.
Okay. This person is not being careful. This person is not being cautious. They are moving in a hurry. They're leaving a lot of debris behind, obvious signs. Give me a perception or investigation as you follow this path.
Ooh, another nat 20. 28.
Nice. You find a handprint that's dried blood. You find a spot where the unconscious body or whoever was being dragged was set down. Someone took a rest. You could see a little bit of food. You could see an empty water flask on the ground. You continue following this until at last you reach the area where it drains off of drains out onto a sandy beach with like a little mini rock cliff that's about 15 feet high. So as you come out into the daylight, you're looking down these beach shore rocks down onto the beach. And you can see drag marks and footprints that lead out towards the water, out towards where the ocean is. But that's as far as it takes you. No other sign. Wherever they went, they either had a boat waiting for them or they swam with them out in the sea. But somebody dragged somebody all the way down through here out to the beach, and now no other sign.
Okay. After seeing that, he'll backtrack. I'll stop to where the blood is at, and I'll take a sample of the blood.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand for that. Or medicine, whichever's better.
Oh, they're both the same.
Okay.
I'll do medicine. 17.
Okay. Take a pretty good sample.
Um,
Which would be, you take a good enough sample that it's now something that can be used as a spell component with scry or sending.
Okay. So I'll probably like put that like on a handkerchief or piece of cloth or something like that because I don't have vials. And then
Why
I'll
don't
pocket
you
that because I don't deal in alchemy. That's a different character.
I always
That's my Monday character.
I
That's not
always take files.
It's either that or beef jerky when I'm hunting. I prefer to have beef jerky. So And then he'll just like make his way back up to the
Okay.
the rest of the party and
So while you're out doing all that, Rymick, before you return, Lyra, you come across a kind of wild cat that is in the midst of like staring at a mouse hole. You kind of walk over to it, cast the spell, speak with animals, and as you get closer to it after casting the spell, you just hear it going yum 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 as it's staring at the mouse hole.
It's really funny. I'm gonna ask it. Hey, pretty kitty.
Busy, go away, food. Busy, go away, food.
Hold out food to it.
Oh, he says, not busy. Look, food. Food comes over, takes the food out of your hand and swallows it and starts purring and cleaning. And it immediately goes into that awkward cleaning position that all cats go into, where its leg is now up in the air. And
Yeah.
what do you want? What do you want?
I was
Busy.
wondering
Busy.
if you saw where those people went after the explosion.
Oh, people go everywhere.
Yes, there were 2 that were in the middle of the explosion. Did you see where they went?
No, didn't see people.
What did you see?
I saw something. And it starts rubbing against your leg and licking at your fingers.
I pull out more food.
Oh, I see a lot more with food.
Yeah.
Takes the food
I'll
out of
keep
your
eating it.
hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes food out of your hand. Goes, thinking better now. Starts rubbing up against your leg, licks your fingers again.
I'll keep feeding it.
Okay, keep feeding it until at last it like lies on the ground, stares at you with like a food coma look on its face. It kind of yawns and then it just falls asleep.
Of course. I'll pick it up and stick it in my bag of holding. I'm just kidding. Okay, well, I'll find another cat. It lasts 10 minutes.
Okay, you start looking around for another cat, and as soon as you get down, look at this sleepy cat. You stand up on your feet, look around. You're surrounded by cats. There's like about a dozen of them, all of them kind of like purring, and you can hear all their little minds going off in unison. Food, 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 food. And they start getting
Food?
closer to you. Food,
The one
food.
that can tell me what happened here.
This jet gray cat, kind of larger than the others, comes out of the group and plops down in front of you. I can tell you what happened. I saw the whole thing, of course. I was busy chasing mice in the library.
Well, what happened?
Well, before I tell you everything that happened, I need a favor from you. Or at least a promise of a favor if I help you.
What's the favor?
I need you to help me turn me back into my normal self.
And what is your normal self?
Well, that's not really important. Let's focus on the needs and the wants right now. Let's just say I help you and you agree to help me. You can call me Stanley for now.
Stanley. What was your normal self's name?
Well, that's not really important now, is it? It's just, I'm just looking for a guarantee. If I help you, you then promise to help me. That's all I'm looking for.
I will try to help you.
Well, that's not very convincing now, is it?
I don't know how to help you, so I have to figure out how to help you first.
Oh, well, that's fair. That's fair. Needless to say, I slept with the wrong person and got caught in the process. And, well, this person's husband was quite a powerful wizard and turned me into this cat. And I don't want to be a cat anymore. I'm sick of eating mice. I don't really like to take long naps. I want to go back to my former self.
Stanley. And
Well, that wasn't my... I'd rather not share my real name, just in case. I mean, for all I know, you could be a spy. Quite a coincidence, I think.
Spy for someone whose husband's wife you slept with? How would...
I didn't specify gender.
Okay, whose spouse's spouse you slept with? How am I supposed to be a spy for them if I have no idea who you're talking
You
about?
sound a bit judgy. Maybe you don't need my help. And he starts to turn and walk away.
Well, I guess you don't want the food then.
He stops. Turns back towards you. I don't know why I have this urge to purr, lick your fingers, and rub up against your leg. I don't even think these are things I should want to do, but yet I feel inclined to do. I don't like this, and I don't like this at all. And oh, yummy, thank you very much. Well, anyways, a young lady and a young man was speaking in the library. The young lady pulled something out of a leather bag to show this young man. The young man attempted to open the object that he was looking at. There were 2 loud explosions, and then I saw the young lady and the young man crawl out of the window. The young man fell unconscious, of course. And then if you look over there, look, there's a fox coming out of a hole. I wonder what they
Out of the foxhole?
Yeah, like as you look over there, you can see Rymick is coming out of a sewer grate. And the cat goes, yes, she was dragging the young man towards that sewer cover there that the fox is currently coming out of course. And that's all I saw.
What did the thing look like that he was trying to open?
I don't know. I didn't see it long enough. For some reason, being a cat has shortened my attention span.
Okay, well, what species were you to begin with?
What species was I? I was the species that walked on 2 legs. I was human,
There's
of course.
a lot of... You were human, okay.
Human, of course,
Okay.
yes.
Well, come on, Stanley. Let's, how can I help you? You gotta stay with
No,
us.
unfortunately, I am unable to leave the grounds. If I leave the grounds, it warns the person that turned me into this. So I'll stay here when you come up with a solution.
Who turned you into it?
Oh, I don't dare say. Not politically correct for me to mention their name.
No one else can understand you, so if you mention their name, they're not going to understand you.
I'm not really sure it's safe for you to know their name, to be honest with you.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Needless to say, they're a professor here at the Lyceum, which is why I'm anchored here, of course.
Gotcha. Okay. And how long have you been a cat?
Oh, I don't know. 10, 15 years, I think now.
10 or 15 years. Okay.
I don't really have a sense of time anymore, to be honest with you. Could be 1,000 years, could be 1,000 seconds. I'm not really sure. My mind is filled with notions of playing with string, eating mice, and taking long naps. I'm getting dumber by the day, I think, is the main point I'm trying to get across here.
I gotcha. Okay.
I think cats are inherently stupid, to be honest with you. While clever, I don't think they're particularly bright when it comes to ambition.
Okay. Well, I won't tell Shadowpelt you said that, but he doesn't think he's stupid.
Shadowpelt, who is like always nearby, I heard the entire thing. You should just kill him and be done with it. He's clearly suffering.
Well, that's a way to get him out of it, I suppose.
Stanley looks over at Shadowpelt. How dare you pass judgment on me? How can a species that can lick its own ass pass judgment on yet another species? Clearly, you have your own problems. And the cat just kind of turns around and it just warbles and like complains the whole way up onto the windowsill and then back into the Lyceum. You hear Shadowpelt go, what an asshole.
Yeah.
Rymek, as you come out of the sewer, you can see where Zatina, Eldera, and Bludgeon are up on the stairs, kind of looking inside the Lyceum. You can see Lyra just finishing up with a strange conversation with a wild cat that took off into the Lyceum. But Lyra, you can see Rymek coming up out of the gutter or the drain in the middle of the park, coming back towards you. And you guys are now all back together again on the stairs.
I'll go back to go to the group. And so probably Micah was talking to a girl. He was handed something by the girl, tried to open it, and it exploded. They went through the window, and he fell unconscious, and she dragged him into that hole.
Oh, well, they drag him all the way to the beach, and the tracks end at the ocean. So I'm assuming they either know how to swim very well or they took a boat. But I was able to procure some blood if we could use that as a tracking spell of some sort.
Well, Sister Lethwin might be able to scry on them. But I think scry is past our capability, or is above our capabilities right now.
I don't know. Mystic, are you able to do it? Little gnome?
That is beyond me at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, what good are you? Anyways, that's fine. Very well, we'll bring it back to you, sister.
But he fell unconscious, might not be dead.
I have the boots. As he pulls the boots out.
He pulls the boots out. They're all
they look
muddied
like
muddied and covered. Anyone is free to make a history check as they examine the boots.
Oh, what's my history? I got a 13.
13. Anybody else?
I got a 14.
14.
22.
Bludgeon, their craftsmanship and the way that they are constructed, these boots were made in the Midlands of Taldori, so probably within close proximity of Whitestone. These boots probably belong to Micah.
Well, there goes our Durolo connection.
You don't know that. Legend hasn't said anything yet.
Well,
No, but I mean, without saying that, it's still, he was dragged off. There goes our Durolo connection.
That's your out of character comment.
It's your out of character comment. Yeah.
Bludgeon mentions it, obviously, but the female that dragged him off, we're assuming a human. And
That wasn't specific.
Maybe not. Hard to tell.
okay, because the thieves tend to be tabaxi, which are cat-like, I believe.
Fair. Yeah.
It's true. Cat's name was Stanley, right? I gotta put that in my notes. Stanley?
Yeah. The cat's name was Stan Lee.
Stanley.
He makes cameos and
R.I.P.
everything. I figured I'll keep it going.
R.I.P. Does Bludgeon say anything about the boots, or otherwise I'm going to throw them?
We should keep the boots. Prestidigitate them clean.
Yeah, Bludgeon said that he thinks that they belong to Micah.
Is that not the guy we are looking for?
Yep, that's the guy we're looking for.
It is.
Nothing is ever easy with this group. Okay. Well, that means we gotta go. Now we got to go go get Micah so we can go take care of the wagon.
Yeah, but that's not happening today. Unless
And we don't have much time.
Lou.
Above table, we were discussing what to do with the wagon, Panthea, and they were talking about moving it, but we don't know how to move it, and we kind of figured that the Etten was the way that was moved it, but now the Etten is dead, so that now that's not gonna happen.
I see.
So we were searching after Micah because Micah dealt with that kind of area of expertise of demonology or whatever. So that's why we're trying to find Micah. And now it seems like Micah is
No more.
So.
Rymek, did you notice any boats or ships? Like if it was a small tender, you would drag them out to the boat. If it was like maybe something smaller, it would go to the docks.
With my nat 20 that I had, with the 28, did I notice?
You sure did. There were at least 3 large ships out at anchor. And there were at least 6 large ships docked. But your distance from the docks tells you that one of those 3 ships at anchor is probably where they ended up going towards.
So we got 3 ships that they possibly could have brought them to. That would be my best guess. There was no tender midway from shore to boat, so they were already on the boat.
Let's go search the ships.
Go get a boat.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
One's got red sails, one's got blue sails, one's got yellow sails.
Well, it's definitely the red sails.
Every single one looked identical.
Okay. Now what?
Well, if
Wait, how far can our familiar fly? We have something that flies in the group.
They can fly pretty far. It's just we only have a connection to them within, what is it, 100
100 feet?
Like 110 feet or something like that.
just
Can they tell you it isn't coming?
large. Oh, sorry.
I mean, technically, you can give them a command to fly, and then they can operate off the assumption of that command. So, I mean, technically, Aldera could command her bat to fly out over the seashore and try to find the 3 ships and investigate the 3 ships.
That is if I'm there. I'm curious where my character might have.
You're with everybody. You're with everybody.
I've just been like
Yeah, we were all
silent
together.
myself.
You've been looking at your hand, henna hand.
Oh yeah,
hand
my
tattoo
death tattoo.
the whole time.
I've just
You've been like questioning your life choices
mesmerized.
for the
Yeah.
past hour.
yeah. No, I've suffered some severe trauma from dying, so it makes sense that I'm completely disassociating.
Like, that explosion could have been me.
Question about the world is Whitestone's not landlocked, right?
It is.
It is.
No, don't on my screen.
The closest thing to a coastal region for Whitestone. Let me pull up the lore map really quick. Whitestone sits in the far northeast. It sits in the middle of a circular range of mountains. It's at least a 5-day journey, either east or west, to get to a coastal region. Otherwise, Whitestone doesn't have a traditional port. There are small fishing villages and other things near coastal regions near Whitestone, but for the most part, it's reasonably up to 5 days journey to get to any particular coast.
So most trade goes in and out via land, then.
Correct.
So
Although trade with Emon is pretty significant. All roads lead east, north, and south. The main road leading to Singorn is the trade that they do with the elves. The roads that go to the Midlands, which is to Kaimal and Westrun, and of course the northern routes up to Fort Daxio and up to Craghammer. The closest major port city for Whitestone would be a city called Stilben, and that's many weeks' journey south of Whitestone. There is a lakeshore city called Drina that's just southeast of the Turst Fields, but there's the reason why Emon is such a well-populated city is because of its rather large coastal region that it influences over. But it's possible boats can circumnavigate the southern region of Tal'Dorei, make its way around the Southern Horn and up towards the northern and northeast sections of Tal'Dorei as well. There's also a lot of ship trade that comes in from Marquette, and there's a lot of ship trade that comes in from Wildemont as well. So sea routes are well established at this point. Although piracy is at its apex right now, so sea travel is not the preferred method of travel anymore.
I'm telling you, one of the ships has red sails. Wink, wink.
Because I was thinking if there was a boat, there was like a little dinghy or longboat or whatever waiting for them. It couldn't have been waiting very long because Emon's a very busy port. So if it went to one, so that boat couldn't have been waiting there very long. So if we go there and see if maybe which ship has been there, if there was a ship that came in this morning or hasn't been there that long, maybe that's
Clever.
the ship we're looking for.
Very clever.
And maybe see what colors they're flying.
Red. This is a good crossover, man. This is a good crossover.
Pretty decent crossover, yes.
How about if we head to the docks and ask questions?
Mhm.
We can ask questions, and Eldira kind of like comes out of this.
Questions? Let's say yes. I'll give a question.
We can consult some people, or perhaps even my site might be able to say a couple of things too. And she just kind of like phases off again. She's just like a little disoriented today.
But I think we're probably gotten all the answers we're going to get here.
Agreed.
So with that, as you guys gather yourselves and start heading away from the Uridite district and away from the Alabaster Lyceum, you find yourself walking back through the central district. Now there's a noticeable increase in the city guard. There seem to be actively looking for somebody. They seem to be actively patrolling the neighborhoods and streets and alleyways. However, there does not seem to be any kind of uptick in city guard activity down in the docks. Once you get down into the dock district, you find yourselves amongst the busy warehouses, buildings, streets, and alleyways of the dock district. Where would you like to try to search first?
Rymek would know what side of the harbor would be closest to where he came out on the beach, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you would have come out on the southern side of the port of Emon. There's maybe a dozen major docks that connect the port of Emon, but on the southern end of the port, there's this rather large open beach area where a lot of the drainage system from the city kind of dumps all the rainwater into the coastal eddy of the Osmit Sea. So if that's, but the challenge you're having is you're kind of like standing there looking down. I mean, there's thousands of people milling about. There's lots of activity going on. There's at least a dozen ships at different docks. You could see out in the main bay about 9 ships, but near the area that Rymek had come out in, you could see 3 ships at anchor out in the bay. You guys would be close enough now. Give me perception checks to see if you notice anything interesting about those 3 ships.
Dirty 20.
320.
8.
I got a 17.
8, 17, 10, Rymek, anything?
15.
15? As a group, with the exception of the 8, the 8 is noticeably distracted by all the happenings of the docks. There is one ship in particular that the color of the flag on their main mast is recognizable as the colors of Whitestone. Below that one, you can also see so there's the flag that indicates Whitestone's flag is being flown on it, and below it is a second flag that would indicate who owns the vessel that they're on, and you recognize the signature elven relief of a Singorn elf symbol. So whoever owns this vessel flies under the Singorn flag.
How
What about
interesting.
that one?
I mean, it makes
Why
sense
don't
that
we-
he'd be taken to a Whitestone ship.
Lyra,
Right.
get out of that person's pocket. Come over here.
But stuff in other people's pockets are interesting.
Well, why don't we introduce ourselves? No harm in that.
Is there anything like
Even Ryvik took a step back. I was like,
Yeah, let's go up to the ship and say, "Hey, we'd like to introduce ourselves." We're like,
I mean, I
you know,
would
100
be-
feet from the shore, and we have to get onto a little tender to get to you. But we're gonna come over and say hi.
what?
Oh, for some reason I thought it was at the docks. Like it was
I don't
already.
think they're at the dock.
So
I think
it's
anchored
out-
It's out in the
Okay.
it's out in the bay. Yeah, it's out
okay.
in the bay.
Okay, gotcha.
Is there anything like a harbor master office? Somebody
There
to
is
coordinate all
the 3-story lighthouse structure, which you'd be familiar with, is run by the Tortle Harbor Master, known as Shellback.
Let's go talk to Shellback and see if
Let's pay a visit to Shellback.
You guys find yourselves walking down into the docks till you get to the 3-story lighthouse, and there's the Tortle Shellback. He's currently going through rosters, looking through journals, and yes, is there something I can do for the 5 of you? Do you require assistance?
Shellback, do you know anything about the elven ship with the white stone pennant?
Ah, yes, that I believe is Master Derolo's ship. Arrived here some 4 days ago, maybe 3 days ago. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It's been sitting out there at anchor now for the past 4 days, I think.
Has anybody gone off or on the ship, or do you mean
No.
it just?
A particular captain came to see me the other day, said something about something had happened to Master Derolo, that he had gone missing, and wondered the same thing as well. Said I'd not seen him since the arrival of his vessel, since he registered.
Is there overdue payment for his docking in the bay?
No, the Derolo family does not pay any license or fee to travel in and out of Emon. Something they earned with the legacy of their family.
that makes sense.
So the captain of that ship was concerned about.
No, I think
No, the
Derolo's
captain of
guard.
the guard that's been investigating the missing
Oh,
or the disappearance of Master Derolo was interested. I think Captain Aurelia is her name. Came looking and inquiring about his absence.
I see.
Quite the talk of the city currently. People are convinced that nefarious things are about. I might even be one to convince people that with the rise in criminal activity, the city seems to be getting more and more unsafe, if you ask me. The smuggling down here has only gotten worse. Do you see that barge over there on the dock right there? Arrived here some 2 weeks ago. Has yet to make a payment. I cannot find its owner. Something rather large was removed from it upon their arrival, and I cannot seem to find hide nor hair of the crew under any circumstances. I'm
Is it the
about to
barge
have it
beside it?
confiscated.
Is it the barge that I was taken onto?
No, you were taken onto a small sloop.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like a river barge. It's maybe 100 feet long, 40 feet wide, 20 feet tall. It's got a big giant wooden ramp that can be lowered, and then large amounts of equipment and other things can be taken off of it. It looks rather run down and dilapidated. It looks kind of sketchy.
Big enough for a wagon?
Definitely big enough for a wagon, yeah.
Well, that is interesting.
Did you see the wagon
So
off of
it's
it?
just kind of abandoned, you would say.
Yeah, I would call it abandoned. I'm sorry. What'd you say, Bludgeon?
Did you see the wagon roll off of it?
I saw many wagons roll off of it carrying cargo and other things. The captain of the vessel, a rather nervous gentleman of Tiefling legacy, paid the arrival fees and the disembark fees, but I have not seen him since, and I've not seen any hide nor hair of the crew that was a part of that ship as well.
Out of character. Have we had run-ins with a tiefling?
I don't think so.
Okay.
This would be a new person as far as that information would go.
Okay.
Has anybody sailed a river barge?
Is there any way to get a hold of the white stone ship?
Well, I would imagine you could take a tender out to them. Other than that, they are free to come and go as they please. We do not actively take inquiries into anything related to the Derolos. They have earned the privilege.
Okay. Where do we rent a tender?
Yeah.
Well, with me, of course, I would gladly rent you a tender for the day for 1 gold.
Okay.
All right.
1 gold.
Flip them like ding.
Grabs
Or
it.
Lara can do it, I suppose.
I can take it out of the party pool.
Like I would imagine you all throw a single gold at him
All 5 fish are like ding, 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 ding.
as you guys make it rain.
Rain.
Do they need anything brought to their ship?
Let me check. He goes back inside, looks around. I have no parcels or package meant for a ship. By the way, it's called the Gilded Grace is the name of the vessel. I have no packages or messages meant for the Gilded Grace. I believe it's being captained by a young lady, a young elf that goes by the name of Vanya, Captain Vanya.
Captain Vanya. That will do. We will have the tender for a day. Thank you. And he kind of like corrals everybody out of the
Yeah, like
like let's I got a plan. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's get him a jug of rum or something that we can bring out there as compliments from the.
We're working out the door. I'm pushing you out the door.
I would imagine Bludgeon just reaches for a jug of rum to grab it just in case. As you guys head out of the bottom floor of the lighthouse, you're
We
kind
can
of
come
like,
up with the plan outside. Like we can talk freely out. Like
as you come out of the bottom staircase of the lighthouse and down into the alleyways, you guys kind of gather near like a general goods shop and a couple warehouses, a little kind of shadowed alleyway that the 5 of you hunker down in to discuss your plans. As far as you can tell, it does not look like anyone's taking an interest in you.
well, we know that Micah must be on that ship. It's from
Hopefully.
Whitestone. Hopefully. We could
No,
send the bat
was he
over.
taken against his will? It seems like it.
Right. We could send the bat over for reconnaissance. We could just take the sloop, not the sloop, the
Tender.
tender over there and offer a bottle of wine for Palais. We could pretend that we are his friends and that because we know that I'm telling you, he was unconscious from the way he was dragged. So maybe we could show concern in that way. What do you think? What do you all think?
Do you
have-
think it would hurt if we took a moment to look at this abandoned river barge that seemingly nobody owns?
Yeah, let's go look at the river barge. I mean, storyteller usually throws out gems like that, says it will look at them, not says it will ignore them. I mean, we should go look at the river barge.
Do we have really time though to look at the river barge? For what purpose?
Maybe
Well-
they're actually hiding on the river barge and they didn't take him to
So-
the Whitestone ship. Maybe the exploding thing was a trap for Micah and they were kidnapping him and not rescuing him by dragging him away.
What if, because you guys are the ones who met Micah. I have not met this gentleman.
Neither
Correct.
have
He's very attractive, as far as I remember.
The ones I was thinking, it would be kind of it doesn't make sense for me to go, especially if the concerned friends angle is what you're taking, because I've never met him and he's not stupid. He's going to realize that.
I. Mm-hmm.
Well, if he's
So
unconscious,
if we
he's
do
not going to
a
realize.
little divide and conquer,
We could.
Yeah.
I check out the barge and you
Because
guys
splitting
can
the party's
go.
never a good idea.
Always.
No.
Always.
If,
okay.
Splitting
if
the
we
party
were
is
to
never a good idea.
confront something that was out of our league, then it might be
I am
difficult
rem-
to.
I'm a fairly small gnome. I'm pretty good at going unnoticed.
Very well.
I'm not tripping over my own feet.
So perhaps we still go together. I mean, there's 3 prominent members of us that do know the Rollo or have met him. And the other 2, they simply, I don't think they'll look into it too scrutinally.
We could always grab this tender and swing by the docked river barge, take a quick look at it, then head over to the ship. We can say we're fans of the Dravorak family, and we just want to say hi because you guys are awesome.
Or we could not announce exactly our connection until we understand a little bit more of what we're walking into. We could just say we're expected. That gives little information whether we're friends, foes,
We can make
business partners.
We're entertainment.
We could be anything.
I
But
would
we
be
could go
no
by
one's
feel.
entertainment.
Simon, you're so entertaining.
And
All right. I think we have a plan.
My
Let's,
tail goes between my legs. So do we wanna okay, so we get on the tender, swing by above table, swing by the
Yes.
barge, let
Swing by the barge.
Zatina do her thing, and then
Uh-huh.
because
and then
the nosy wizard's gonna be nosy, and she'd be like, "This
fine.
abandoned barge that totally didn't have a doom wagon on it a couple weeks ago. You know, maybe
Okay.
they left something behind that we could track to that captain or whatever.
we need a safe word in case you get in trouble that you can yell out.
How about oh shit?
I can still hear you guys, but I'll be right back.
Very well.
Do we
Alright,
have to roll
Bludgeon.
this?
You're good at
Grab an oar. Pause.
Yep. You grab an oar, I'll grab an oar.
The noodle-armed wizard will not grab an oar.
Someone operate the tiller,
There you go.
and we'll head over to the barge.
So with that, you guys head on down to where all the tenders are kind of roped onto a single small dock, picking one of them. You guys board the tender and begin to row away from the edge of the dock and in the direction of the barge. Before long, you can see that the barge has been moved. You notice that where it was originally was close to the shoreline. It's been moved further away because as far as Shellback's concerned, it's been abandoned and he doesn't want it blocking the other ships and use of the dock that would be more important for this particular part of the port. Zatina, give me investigation as you examine it as the tender gets closer.
That is a 14, or 14.
You can have guidance as well because Rymic is right there.
No, mine's not. Mine's only.
Oh,
for me.
that's right. Yours is lineage. It's not a spell. I forgot about that.
Sorry.
No worries. No worries. With a 14, the barge has no vessel name on its prow. It looks like it hasn't seen maintenance in a long time. You get the feeling that if you were a smuggler looking to use a barge for a very quick purpose, this barge definitely fits the description. You can see that there are 2 rope ladders leading down the side of the barge. There's no gangway or attached walkway to the barge since it's being treated as an abandoned vessel. And it, for all intents and purposes, it looks quite plain and quite run down.
On our way over, would there have been enough time for me to ritually cast detect magic?
Sure, I would say so.
So I'll have detect magic up.
Yeah, as Bludgeon gets the tender closer, because you guys can kind of take it right past the barge on your way out towards the gilded. The hell? Where did my name go? The ship, the gilded.
Grace?
Yeah, sorry,
Grace.
the gilded. Yeah, the gilded grace. I have like 4 boat names down, and I don't know why I didn't check that one off. That way you can go by the barge and then head out towards the gilded grace. Your detect magic is not pinging on anything at this point. Bludgeon is kind of bringing you along it cautiously to give you time, and as the area of effect of detect magic kind of bubbles up against the side of the barge, there's no immediate detection of magic, nothing magical.
Can I check to make sure like the ladder's not sabotaged or something and then climb up onto it?
Yeah, give me an investigation check as you examine the nearby rope ladder.
Natural 20 for 29.
Yeah, it looks perfectly safe, which is odd. While the boat itself, the barge itself, looks quite dilapidated, the rope ladder appears to be an afterthought, something that was used for other people to gain access. So it's newer and in better shape, and does not appear to have any traps or any kind of sabotage associated to it.
All right, I'm gonna climb over, and I'm assuming it's not super huge, so it's not gonna take a long time to poke.
Yeah,
around.
it's about a 20-foot climb up the rope. Go ahead and give me acrobatics or athletics with advantage because the rope ladder is in good shape.
19 acrobatics.
Yeah, you get to the very top, and once you get to the top, you realize that the below deck is completely hollow. It immediately drops down another 20 feet down into the hole. There's no surface deck. The only real deck that there is at the very back portion of the vessel. You have to climb up another series of stairs about 20 feet up to what you believe to be the pilot house. River barges are built very differently. They're designed as flat water travel vessels for going up long, kind of like wide and easy to maneuver rivers. The entire interior of the barge is empty from what you can tell. The pilot house door is open, but the condition of the interior of where all the equipment and everything would have sat inside this barge, there's little bits of debris everywhere. Nothing was cleaned up. It looks like whatever was here was just kind of unceremoniously loaded up and then taken out when the barge was closer to the shoreline. You can see at least 5 sets of wagon tracks. You could see bits of canvas and debris and broken boxes and other like detritus that was left behind after they unloaded the vessel.
Is there any on the broken boxes? There like a plank that's low enough? Because usually, if it's like a shipment box, it'll have some sort of brand or marking or something of where it came from.
If you want to climb down into the hold and examine more closely, you could probably determine that.
Yeah, I'll do that quickly.
Okay. At that point, all of you lose sight of Zatina as she climbs down the other side and into the hold itself. You begin to pick up little bits of fabric and canvas and remains of boxes. Go ahead and give me a history check as you examine these bits of debris.
That is a 12.
Most of what you're finding are indications that this ship came from the inland waterways near a place called the Byroden, a series of lakes that are connected by interlocking streams that eventually would lead to a connection up towards Singorn. This is a kind of rather abandoned area between Singorn and the southern reach of the Tazarm. No one really travels to this small community. It's very much a popular community for smugglers.
Can I climb up into the pilot house and see if there's anything left behind in there?
Yeah, the stairwell is pretty easy to ascend. You get up into the pilot house, and it's a real simple kind of vessel, nothing too fancy about it. You could tell that someone's already been here. Probably Shellback's people have come to try to discern for themselves. Cupboards are open, stuff is on the ground. You know, like it's been ransacked. You can tell it's been ransacked. However, your detect magic is still up, and your detect magic indicates something magical in one of the loose floorboards near the Helmmaster's wheel.
Can I use Mage Hand to pry it up and see what it is?
Yeah, you watch as your little mage hand goes over. The plank of wood easily pops out. There is a small silver box underneath the plank. There would appear to be 3 magical items inside that silver box. All 3 have enchantment magic associated to them.
Can I have... Can I have my mage hand pick it up and like put it in my like backpack or something? And then I'm going to get back to the tender.
Yeah, absolutely.
Enchantment magic. Okay. And I'm going to get back and say where it's from and that it's not a place for where legitimate trading vessels go usually. And that but there was this silver box that has three magical items, but I need time to identify them.
Was the box magical?
The box was not magical. It was a simple silver box containing 3 items.
Was the box made of silver?
It is made of silver, yeah. The box itself could have value, yeah.
You grabbed the box too, right?
Yeah.
Well, the items were in it. I don't think she opened the box yet.
I didn't open it. They had enchantment magic on them.
We can look at those later. Interesting. Nothing else. Did any of the wagon wheels look like the wagon wheels from the Doom machine?
Hard to tell.
Tracks.
I won't wait.
I think he's trying to say 5 hours later.
It's odd they would take everything but leave the magical items behind.
That's assuming they knew about them.
This is true. How long will it take to row out to the ship?
Give me a survival check, if you would, please.
I rolled a 3, so it's not going to be. It's a 5.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it could take hours to get out there. Who knows?
I will start ritually casting Identify on the 3 magic items while we're rowing.
So you're opening up the silver box to retrieve the 3 items?
With Mage Hand.
Well, I have to, in order to identify, I have to touch the items.
Correct.
That doesn't mean you have to open the box with your hands.
This is true.
Check it for traps. I want to check it for traps.
Give me an investigation check as you examine it for traps.
What's my investigation? Okay. Oh, that is a 15.
There is a small keyhole associated with the silver box, and inside of it, you can see a very tiny little needle. Anyone trying to open up the box would immediately get hit by this needle.
There is a trap
Bludgeon
in the
hand
keyhole.
gloves that are sleight of hand.
Oh, that's right. You have your gloves of
Bludgeon-
thievery. I
Bludgeon
think,
has sneaky gloves.
yeah, sneaky gloves.
On the or
Yeah, you can give me sleight of hand with advantage on
I have
disarming it.
thieves' tools.
all right.
We'll
Bludgeon will
lower the
take a
DC
swat.
with the thieves tools. Yeah.
All right. Here's the first one. 30, 20. I can roll again, right?
Yeah, if you want to try and go for higher.
Now 20. 20 is good enough. That's all I can get.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you pull out the little lockpick and the little tweezers. You get in there. You snap the spring that was holding the needle, and you retrieve the needle with the pliers, and you're able to disarm it. And then the silver lid pops open.
I bludgeon hands it right back. All yours.
And inside the silver box, you can see 2 little crystals that appear to be painted as if they're eyes. You also see a what looks to be like a fan that you could unfold into a fan. It's made of a strange kind of metal composite. And then, of course, you see a small wand as well.
2 crystals that look like eyes.
Like they're a
Typing with
matching set.
eyes, a fan, and a wand.
And a wand.
Okay. Oh, magic.
Can I look to make sure there's no any other surprises before reaching into the box?
Yeah, give me an investigation check if you would.
You know what? Yeah. That is a 14.
14? Yeah, as far as you could tell, the needle in the lock was the main protection.
I will grab the crystals that are painted like eyes, and I start ritual casting Identify.
Okay. We'll say it's going to take at least 30 minutes to get out towards the gilded grace. So during that time, you can go ahead and identify all 3 of them. Anybody else want to do anything while you journey out towards the Gilded Grace?
I am watching
Okay.
because I'm very interested in, magic items, of course.
Bludgeon's rowing.
Okay.
I will give her guidance because I forgot that I just got guidance as my new cantrip for level 4?
Which means it's passive and always active. So whenever anybody's within 30 feet of Lyra, and as long as she is not using any other concentration effort, you automatically get a D4 for guidance in the future. So, Zatina, you examine the first set. You identify them as Eyes of Charming. These crystal lenses fit over the eyes. The lenses have 3 charges and regain all expended charges daily at dawn. While wearing them, you can expend 1 charge to cast Charm Person, save DC 13 on a humanoid you can see within 30 feet. They are in the D&D. They are in D&D Beyond, so you can add those to inventory.
Okay.
So they are called Eyes of Charming. The other item is called a Courtesan's Fan Blade. This is basically a hidden weapon with enchantment magic. The dagger is made of 2 hollow halves that can be opened to reveal a paper fan. While the fan is open, you cannot attack with the weapon. However, while the fan is exposed, you can use an action to cover your face with it and expend 1 of its 3 charges to cast Charm Person as well. That is in the D&D Beyond. It's called Courtesan's Fan Blade. Courtesans Fan Blade. And the final item is called a Wand of Smiles. The Wand of Smiles. This one has 3 charges. Regains all charges daily at dawn. You can use an action to expend a charge. Target a humanoid within 30 feet. Target must succeed on a DC 10 charisma saving throw or be forced to smile for up to a minute.
Keep that away from me.
Use that
That
on.
it's like something. It's like if the Joker was in his D&D.
I mean, you guys pick up on the idea that these 3 items are probably being used by someone of roguish nature, someone who would want to charm people, influence people, distract people, keep a hidden weapon. Whoever was using or hiding these items, number 1, never came back for them. Number 2, were obviously being used for other purposes. And whether or not the original crew knew about them, you're not entirely sure. But these are highly specific items.
I don't see the wand in D&D Beyond.
It's called the Wand of Smiles
I added all 3 to the party
inventory.
Oh, okay.
inventory.
I can't find the eyes of smiling.
Well, it's Wand
Not
of
the eyes of
Smiles. Not
Wand of
smiling, smiles. With that, you guys find yourself coming close to the edge of where the Gilded Grace is. As you get closer, you hear a female voice kind of yell out from the edge of the ship. Halt! Do not come any closer. Who are you? State your business.
Eldira, this is you.
You're on. No, she's not muted, but.
Oh.
There we go.
This is someone on the ship?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yes, we are expected. Eldira, Moonsylph, at your service. It's hard to hear you from here.
Oh, that's because you're not on my ship, Eldira, and I am not expecting you since this is my ship. I am Captain Vanya. What purpose do you have on coming out here? Speak plainly, or I will have my sailors fire upon you as you have been not invited here.
Yes, but we have been invited, my captain.
By who?
I have it on my appointment schedule. I'm surprised that no one was there to meet us.
Oh
It's
my
quite
god! I don't know whether
improper.
I don't know if I need persuasion or deception. Give me deception for starters. You have guidance.
Guidance.
And depending on how well you do, it'll impact your persuasion.
Okay.
And we have Eyes of Charming.
Wait.
You have
I do
guidance. You have guidance.
Hold on.
Are
Even
you
better.
seriously trying
Even
to
better.
use charm on an elf?
No.
No. I have even better. I have lucky. So I'm gonna roll that one more time.
You have guidance too.
And guidance. Okay. Come on. All right. Cool. And then that is a 21 plus 3, so 24.
For your deception?
Yes.
Nice. Go ahead and give me persuasion with advantage then.
Okay. I'm going to.
And you still get guidance on that as well.
All right. First roll, second roll. 19 plus. Okay. 21.
21. She looks genuinely perplexed. She allows the tender to get close enough to where you're looking up at her and she's looking down. She's got her hands on her hips, looking down, and then she crosses her arms as if she's lost in thought. She looks over to talk to somebody else, like kind of under her breath at someone else to her right. That person kind of says something to her and she looks down at you and I suppose it's possible. He's not really capable of, how should we say, answering, is he? Well, they found us. They seem to be supposed to be. Very well, hold on. You watch as these 2 ropes drop. Hook those to the front and back of your tender. We shall hoist you aboard to avoid having to climb up, of course.
Nice. We here you go, Legend.
Bludgeon hooks it up on the front. Gets it hooked
I'll hook it up on the back.
Yeah, you guys hear the cranking noise that's being tethered up to the side of the railing. It's only about a 12, 14 foot rise up to the side of the ship's railing.
As we're approaching, I'm gonna really sell this. You're like, yes, it was quite improper, Captain. We were waiting, and we eventually just had to hire a tender ourselves.
Okay. First of all, I have no personal information in regards to why you are even fucking here. So let's just stop there right there. Marble, come here. Do you know these people? You watch as a very injured and exhausted looking elf comes over.
Female?
She's got like a bandage on her forehead. She's got some cleaned up wounds on her chin. Her clothing looks a little bit charred and crispy. She comes over and Marble kind of looks, no, ma'am, I'm not familiar with these people. And then you hear a hesitant step and a voice. I am familiar with them. And you see Micah DeRollo leaning up against a nearby wall on one of the cabins that head down. And he kind of limps over, and I'm not entirely sure how you found us, but I had hoped that the mess we left behind would make it difficult for anybody to find us. Vanya looks over at DeRollo, raises an eyebrow. Oh, that. Well, I leave you to it. Mind your manners while you're on my ship, of course. No sneaking about. Do not open up crates that have warning signs on them. And if you hear something untoward, I would advise that you ignore it. Gentlemen, and she turns and 4 of her sailors follow her off towards the back of the boat, leaving you guys, Micah and Marble, kind of standing there in an awkward kind of, and they both look haggard. Like
Yeah.
Micah looks very haggard. Marble looks haggard because, she's maybe 5'3", 5'2", 100 pounds. This just very young looking elven woman. And the 2 of them just stare at the 5 of you kind of awkwardly. And like Micah goes, it's a long way for you to come in find me? I can only assume that you are trying to find me then.
I'm nodding.
Yes, quite.
Bludgeon holds up his boots.
Oh, well, fuck's sakes.
Yes,
Thank
you
you,
got
man.
these.
Thank you. Reaches over. These are really expensive. And it's like, as he's finally pulling them back, Satina, you realize that those boots have been pinging magical, and the tail end of your detect magic, they were pinging. He slips the boots on, and you watch as he kind of levitates and then, lands back down on the ground. I love these boots. My uncle Percy gave these to me. Thank you. I'm sorry. Why have you come all the way out here? I hope you're not out here because people have sent you to retrieve me. I'm really hoping that no one.
No, nothing quite
Oh,
like that
good.
at all.
Good.
Do we call him like Lord, or what is his like?
He just goes by the name Derolo or Micah, or based on how you were introduced to him.
Mr. Derolo. Mr.
Meester.
Yeah, as long as you call me
Derolo.
anything but hey you. Anything but hey you.
Mr. Derolo, you look. What happened?
Well, I had found an item in Professor Dorn's workshop. I was suspicious of it. I had brought it to my young friend here, Marble, who happens to be a master tinkerer. She began to try to open it based on how I thought it opened, and well, needless to say, there were a series of explosions after we tried to open it. Rather than incur any wrath or inquiry, we used that opportunity. Well, I passed out once we crawled out the window. Young Marble here dragged me through the sewers, out the drain, and to a waiting tender to take us back to the ship, of course.
Yes, that's kind of what we figured happened.
But why do you care? Why have you come out here? I'm confused.
We went to the library looking for you.
Yes, I would imagine that would be step one of looking for me. I'm just trying to understand why you're looking for me.
Well, go on, tell him why. Let's
We,
not dance around it.
And I'll get up on like a barrel.
We have a
so I can
we have a
talk
picture
about
of him. We have a picture of the thing, right? A
I
drawing.
think somebody made a picture of it. It was
Okay,
either
I'll-
Rymick or Bludgeon. I forget who it was, but somebody I think made
Pull
a
it
drawing
out.
of it.
I thought we did. We had a drawing of it. We'll pull it out and say, oh, and I'll hand it to him and say, we found this.
Oh yeah, there was a diagram in the.
That's right.
There was a diagram in the pouch that you guys retrieved from Fetch.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Um,
So we found this.
This is one of my uncle's doom wagons.
Yes.
It's currently in a warehouse by the promenade.
That's impossible. He looks at the diagram. I know precisely where this doom wagon is. It sits in a rectory in Whitestone. It's been sitting
that's
there ever
not
since
where it is
the Battle
now.
of Vasselheim.
Not
That's
anymore.
not where it is now. It's in a warehouse back there.
That's impossible. Can't be moved. How?
We also have this that goes with it, and or who has the soul coin?
I thought you did.
I'll pull it out and I'll show him the soul coin.
He takes it from you, looks at it, and goes, "Yeah, soul coin. Yeah, that's. However, doesn't explain the connection with the wagon. The soul coin is currency that you use in the many different levels of
It's the
hell.
one that's paired to that wagon.
My uncle never designed anything to be paired with anything.
Okay.
All the
well,
wagon is a rather sophisticated container to maintain the imprisonment of major demons, devils, and fiends.
What was the name of it? What was the name that was on the side of it?
Soul Drinker?
Soul drinker.
Soul Drinker? Well, the
My
Soul
uncle
Drinker.
knows more about these things than I do. I recognize it by its diagram. I mean, I'm not entirely sure why it's here. The only way anything could ever be removed, and you watch as Marble tugs on Micah's arm and like shakes her head at him. she uses sign language to communicate with him, and he goes, "Oh, true, Marble, true," as he signs back towards her. The only way that could have been removed from where it was deposited was a signature of a senior member of the engineering staff, say someone like Professor Dorn,
Professor Dorn.
who
Who's
I
missing?
still have yet to be able to find.
It was in the hands of a smuggler.
Who's been working with Professor Dorn?
And Professor Dorn was spotted 2 days ago in the city.
And Professor
Really?
Dorn is up to a lot of things.
Well, maybe not. You see, the only real value to that wagon is that I don't know much about soul coins, but that wagon's only value is if it's empty. If it is empty, it would be free to use to contain something yet again. Well, doom wagons are inherently used for demons, devils, and fiends. They are advantageous for such use. My uncle, on the other hand, felt that anything of, how shall we say, celestial or fiend, infernal, demon, devil, anything not of the material plane that needed to be contained for some other purpose or use, the wagon would definitely accomplish this goal. But as long as it has something in it, it becomes a burden upon whoever has the wagon, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is very much not empty.
Is the value on a wagon just keeping it hidden? Whatever is inside, can that be let out? Maybe with this coin?
I don't know enough about that, but I would imagine if this coin is somehow tethered or part of the information that you retrieved in relation to the wagon, perhaps. However, letting out a demon of such potential power or danger, I don't think would be any easy circumstance.
When this was stored in Whitestone, was it in kind of a secure jail area, or was it like
It was in a reliquary vault where we keep all particular magic items of importance for the family, and to keep them safe from the community as well. This particular doom wagon was in that vault along with other items as well. As far as I know, the other doom wagons that were involved in the defense of Vasselheim during the battle with Vecna are either in Nicodranus with the Cobalt Soul there, or in could be with the Zents as well. There's another one, I believe, that is in Vasselheim itself. And then, of course, the fifth one used to be in Whitestone. I'm not even sure anyone's aware that it's missing.
So,
A big
how
part.
do we get it
Go
back
ahead.
to Whitestone?
I can send a message to my uncle and see if he can send someone to come pick it up. Of course, we'd want to prove that it's actually the one that used to be in Whitestone.
True.
But with this diagram and your eyewitness encounter, I see no reason why Uncle Percy would have any reason to disbelieve you.
Well, it's supposed to be sold tonight by like 12 midnight.
Ah, that is problematic. I suppose we could always go and tell this story to Lethwin. She is a interested family friend. She might have insight into what we can do about this.
Lethwin sent us to you to find you,
Ah,
and
ahead
she's
of the
got
game we are then.
someone at like the Cobalt Soul going and watching the warehouse.
Oh, it would appear that she is already on the move then and making decisions of her own. What do
We
all
just
of you
wanna-
know of Professor
we-
Dorn's activities here in the city?
Quite
I
a bit, I'd imagine.
I think he's trying to find dragons.
There are no dragons in Emon. That would be a fool's errand. What is he really doing here? What have you witnessed him doing, to be more specific? All of us seem to be on similar paths, but yet not on the same road, I think.
Well, originally he hired us to try and find out if there was a hole in the center of the crater that would take us to a different plane. And there was. And it was weird. And there was bones and timey-wimey stuff. And
I'm to understand that Professor Dorn had an interest in the scar in the crater that once used to be Thordak's lair.
Yeah.
You found your way into this displacement of plenial existence.
Yeah.
And
And we saw our old selves and our older selves, and it was very strange. But we got home in time to see ourselves leave again. Or originally.
I would advise you not to go adventuring while drinking, maybe. That might be the simplest advice I can give you.
I wasn't drinking, but it's going to lead me to drink.
Marble tugs on Micah's arm again. They exchange quick sign languages, and he looks back at all of you. I believe that Professor Dorn is looking for something connected to Thordak. Either a remnant of its magical ability that it once housed, or even possibly a remnant of one of his younglings that had hatched during the engagement here with Vox Machina all those years ago. I think he seeks to control or contain whatever it is that might be his interest in the Doom Wagon. Unfortunately, he is not someone who understands the nature of divinity. I think
Could a youngling be a red wormling?
Well, I know he's in the habit of studying as I don't know if I'd call it a hobby or not, but I do know he has a general interest in dragons. He always has. He believes that the organic nature of their componentry can always be used for engineering purposes. And I believe he was in consultation with a dragonborn of the scales, and having many consultations with this particular wizard dragonborn who's currently in charge of financing the retrofit and rebuilding of the cloud top, as well as the great citadel that the council now uses to run the city. My uncle has been very suspicious of the professor for some time now. Originally, he sent me out here to work with the professor, but I also suspect to keep at least one eye on his activity as well. And I would argue that I has not been doing a very good job. While I've been doing my best to figure out what he's up to, he always seems to be able to disappear without any notion. Don't know where he goes, and whenever I would track him out to the crater to keep an eye on him, he simply disappears. I've not been able to keep him. I'm sorry?
There's a portal in his wagon.
There's a portal in his wagon.
Mm-hmm.
You all are just full of all sorts of new information.
Well, I mean, I think he meant for us to die, but, we didn't.
I don't know. Professor Dorn has never struck me as a person who will purposely get their hands dirty in such work.
Well, he
If by
sent
your
us
own
to a pocket dimension thingy that had big-ass dragon bones in it. It's
Did
very
he
bizarre.
purposely send you through there?
Yeah, he gave us the scroll, and he told us to read it, and it opened a portal. Yeah.
Interesting.
And we have a second scroll.
Yeah.
Professor Dorn's a wizard, right?
He's a wizard, tinkerer, and engineer.
I mean,
What he told us? What he tell us? It was a. He told us it was a scroll of mold earth, and it was not a scroll of mold earth.
Yes,
Interesting.
was
So he
not very
lied to
questioning.
you.
Yes.
And we're not sure what the second scroll is either, I think.
I thought it would. I thought they were the same scroll.
Earthquake. I think we. Yeah.
Yeah, once
Yeah,
you realize the
earthquake.
first one was misrepresented, once you examine the second one after reading the first one, it was another earthquake scroll as well.
Yeah. So it wasn't mold earth. It was earthquake.
Interesting. There's the question. What is Professor Dorn looking for? He wants the wagon. He must have had it smuggled out here. The only way you could smuggle anything is with a inroad in with the clasp or the mirrored. Marble here tells me that the tabaxi known as Padway is the main smuggler here in the city and would be mostly involved with this. Something tells me that maybe you guys have been involved with her as well.
Trying to thwart her, and then she's been trying to kill us. Yeah.
So you really pissed off an interesting person to piss off. But
Yeah.
what in the God's name is Dawn looking for? What would he need that wagon for? What is he trying to contain? Until he can solve for the problem of it already having something in it, I don't believe he's going to be able to use it, which means if they do intend to move it tonight, my guess is that the smuggler is doing so under the pretense that Professor Dorn no longer is interested in the wagon. And perhaps this Padway is trying to unload this thing to get rid of it.
The creature inside was able to communicate with us.
That's impossible. The purpose of the Doom Wagon is to prevent that from happening, of course.
Well, yes, but let's make a wild assumption and assume that that creature's been in there since its initial use in Vasselheim.
Okay.
What if its containment's not as effective anymore?
Impossible. It could only be affected by something on the outside. The way that the Doom Wagon is designed, they're meant to last for a very long time. In fact, they're meant to be traveled with to the Nine Hells to return said creature, to banish them permanently back upon whence they came from. My uncle was remittance in getting rid of it. He used it as a creature of study for many years. While he was able to communicate with it on purpose, with intent, I'm not really sure how he did that, to be honest with you.
Well,
Maybe it's that coin again.
I don't know enough about soul coins. Perhaps it is.
Let's just imagine that it is being deconstructed, or how that might be able to happen, because it is something that we all experienced in the same room.
and devils are known to be crafty.
How
Oh,
would it
yeah.
have happened?
Well, my concern is that the professor's been screwing with this wagon for who knows how long. What if he
Well,
started?
the barge got there how many days ago?
The barge got there 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So he's potentially had the Doom Wagon for 2 weeks.
Over 2 weeks, because he had to get it at Whitestone somehow.
He could have been tinkering with it
Well, he
while it was in
could have been
Whitestone
tinkering.
too.
He could have been tinkering with it and messing with
That's
it
true.
for months, years.
Mhm.
However long he's had access to it as the head professor of engineering or whatever.
And from what they told me, the creature inside of it, they could like see its face pressing up against in its hands, and you know.
It tried to read our it did read our thoughts.
Excellent description.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I imagine like in the first Freddy Krueger when he presses his face to the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
But if if something happened and it's now able to communicate, I mean, devils are known to affect the minds of those that are in contact with it for a long time.
So
Maybe
it could have
Dorn's under the
affected
influence
Dorn.
of this devil is my concern. And that's why he's starting to do things that are out of character for him.
So maybe
like,
it's not
trying to
Dorn
kill
that's in
people.
charge. Maybe the devil is the devil made me do it.
Devil may cry.
So what would the devil want with?
I would imagine anything that's been confined in a prison for so many years would simply just want to be out.
We know
Right.
that was
Get
a
out
big
on the
thing.
material plane to cause havoc, all the better.
That was
right?
a big thing it told us was that it wanted out, over
Right.
and over
Yeah,
again.
and then to consume people and eat everything.
Perhaps it wasn't quite the mastermind that we think it is. I feel like either Dorn is using it or they're mutually using each other. But
I like that idea.
whatever the case,
We'll talk a lot what we do about this.
exactly. I'm
Well,
with
we
Reimek.
have to
What do we
have
do
to
about this?
figure out how they're moving it, and then or just go to the warehouse and take it now.
Mr.
take it where?
Is this information worth anything to you?
Well, I would say this will definitely be worth a great deal to my uncle. He will want to know how this thing got stolen and want to know why one of our trusted engineers is possibly implicated and involved. Are you looking for a finder's fee, perhaps, Master Swordsman?
Oh, whatever you think. However, even delivery fees.
I'm not opposed to it.
The breath of adventure. I do miss it. I'll tell you what. If you and your friends manage to secure the wagon, get it safely delivered to, well, I think the only safe place to take it be to our cleric friend, of course, the priestess. Have it safely stowed there, have it safely taken to her, and then she can see to it that the Cobalt Soul secures it in their reliquary till my uncle can send the proper mode of transportation to retrieve it and take it back to where it came from.
All right.
Find it, steal it, get it back to Priestess Hale, and I think 1,000 gold apiece should be more than good enough for everybody, don't you think?
There's
I
a
would
devil.
say we could settle on perhaps 1,500 apiece.
There's a
You
devil.
can hear
in this.
Marbles kind of laughing and pointing and laughing and pointing. He just goes, "Yes, I know. Reminds me of people I once knew. Yes, 1,500 apiece. Very doable. However, I must inform you that if it gets out, runs amok, that's kind of the opposite of what we want to do."
Right. Perhaps we can leave you with the coin. That way, we don't run into the issue of releasing it in the city.
Of course, I like that idea. And he takes the coin from you, places it into a small bag of holding, and ties it to his waist.
Right. Well, we should move fast. And also tell your captain not to shoot us on arrival. Just like give a smile.
I got one question. What we do about it getting on our heads?
Make your wisdom saves.
I am very wise if that is what you're talking about. But
Well, let's put it this way. If all of you think that the coin is connected to the ability to interact with you, since you'll be absent the coin, then perhaps its power will be interrupted, unable to be tethered to you. However, if touching the wagon or getting too close to the wagon causes psychic harm or puts you at threat of the beastie, I'm not entirely sure I have any items upon which would be of benefit. I didn't really bring much with me except my some of my wealth and my engineering supplies to work with the professor. So unfortunately, I cannot help you much there. However, at this coin, he points to the pouch on his belt. If this coin is directly involved with the ability of the creature to do that, well, perhaps now it will be weakened, unable to do anything because the coin will not be in your presence.
Do you have any ideas on how to move the wagon?
Yes, I know precisely how you move the wagon. There is a small hidden wooden panel on the front of the wagon. You press in that panel, and on the inside, there is a device that releases invisible servant. The invisible servants appear. They are tethered to the wagon and will pull it for you wherever you'd like it to go.
Perfect. That's good. That's good information to have. Awesome.
Of course. We also, from my understanding, that was never diagrammed out. That was my my aunt's, my friend of the family, Keyleth's idea.
Oh,
Awesome.
perhaps another protection from evil and good spell?
I
Claire?
hope you have it, because I don't.
Do we might have that in our arsenal?
Do I have that?
All right, let's walk and talk.
Or swim.
Or swim. No, swim.
No, we have a tender.
You're not going to lower us back into the tent.
Or roll and go.
I'll like look at my clothes like there's no way I'm getting that wet.
You guys
I know
all
you
pile
just got a
back.
new hat.
Yeah, you guys all pile back
know.
into the tender. Captain Vanya and the others all kind of see you off. It takes you another half hour to row back towards the dock. You leave the tender at the dock, and now you're back in the port area of Emon.
But it's not prepared.
It's now late afternoon, early evening. There's about an hour, maybe 2 hours left of sunlight before it's dark.
Right, well,
Should
Okay.
go find the cleric.
Lethwin. Lethwin. Right?
Yes.
Lethwin. Sister Lethwin?
yes.
As you
So,
guys head
update her.
over, as you guys head over to the park and over to her temple, she has left a message for you. She has secured a contingent of Cobalt Soul and some others to help facilitate in isolating the warehouse, and for you to meet her there.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect.
Let's go.
Oh.
Insight check the message. Was it really her? I'm just kidding. That's fine. I think
At which
it
point,
was-
you guys eventually end up back in the promenade, just about an hour before sunset. You guide yourselves over to the backside of the promenade where the warehouses are. Sure enough, there's about a dozen individuals now around the familiar warehouse. There's a rather large wagon with horses tethered to it out front. There is a bloated corpse of an Eton covered in a canvas tarpaulin in the back of this rather large wagon. You can also see that there are other wagons here. It would appear everything in this warehouse is basically stolen goods. There's a rather sizable contingent of city guard here that are keeping people away. There's a contingent of at least 4 Templars that serve the temple, as well as 6 Cobalt Soul members that are involved as well. Lethwin sees all of you arrive, and she smiles and kind of guides you over to where she is watching everybody kind of busily do their work. So, any sign of Micah or...
talking very quietly because he didn't want it known. We found him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fascinating. Did he have any insights or thoughts about how to proceed?
He
Yes.
thinks that yes.
We should take
should-
all of these stolen goods for ourselves and distribute it out to the people. The
We
Lethwin
the
just
people.
crosses her arms, looks at Rymick. Yes, we'll discuss that later.
Haha, I work on my jokes.
We should secure the wagon with you and the Cobalt Soul, and he can talk to his uncle about coming and picking it up.
Yes.
Well, I think if you and your friends would like to go see, everything else is taken out. The only
Mhm.
thing in there, of course, is the wagon itself. And to your credit, your description was quite apt. It is one of Percy's doom wagons that was used in the battle with Vecna. Quite a bit of history there. The Cobalt Soul has already sent word to certain individuals to come and take a look at it if needed. But I have to admit, while we were all tentative and we behaved very cautiously, we never felt a psychic presence. There was no voice. There was no attempt to dissuade us whatsoever. I did detect magic. I did identify on it and did some other things. We found a hidden panel on the wagon that seemed to impose the spell Invisible Servant. I suspect you activate that, and that's what allows
And it
you to move the wagon.
pulls. Yeah,
Excellent.
that's what Micah said.
Well, shall we help the Cobalt Soul wrap this up and get rid of this thing?
Yes.
Let's.
Sounds good.
Get it out of bad people's hands.
I am so curious, though, that he just decided to silence himself in the presence of others when he made his presence known when we first met him.
It's the
The fiend,
coin.
I mean.
No, I think it's the coin. But let's go check it out.
Devils are crafty.
Let's knock, shall we?
As you guys,
I mean, we're gonna have to touch the wagon anyway.
I had to know it.
Yeah, let the NPCs get
That's what they
possessed.
stands for.
yeah, Lethwin kind of like walks in with the rest of you, and everybody else is busy kind of packing everything up, taking notes, and it's still a very organized city. I mean, there's it has its own judiciary, it has its own laws, and anytime they can crack down on either the Clasp or the Myriad, they see that as a success. This is the breaking of a pretty significant smuggling location, and they're taking advantage of that and sequestering and taking everything they can. They're going over the warehouse with a fine-tooth comb, and as the six of you stand there, you're like within 10 feet of the wagon. There's no sense of dread. There's no sense of psychic energy. There's no sense of any kind of presence whatsoever.
Can I roam around while they're doing all of this? Because
Mhm.
I find it hard to believe that we're doing all of this and nothing from the opposition has realized anything. within
Oh, I'm
this
sure they've
time.
realized, and they're probably
That's-
waiting to ambush us.
Right. So I want to
And he's probably got a battle board ready for us for next
yeah.
work.
So
next
I want to see if any of these people look suspicious, like if there's anybody, maybe look around to see if there's anybody spying around, that kind of stuff.
You can give me investigation or survival, your choice.
guidance.
And you would have guidance.
Ooh, good. I need it. That's 19.
19. Well, Rymick goes off to wander around a bit. Anybody else want to do anything while they're securing the wagon?
Just for fun, I would like to knock on it. Knock, knock.
Bludgeon
Yeah,
will look
it's
through the
hollow.
loot.
What's that, Bludgeon?
Sorry, he'll look through the crates to see if he can spirit away anything easy.
Yeah, I love that. What's your give me investigation check, Bludgeon, as you
All right.
examine some of the crates that are now neatly stacked and being loaded.
Did it sound hollow before, or did no one knock on it?
No one ever touched it
Roll.
before.
We did not dare to get close to that thing.
Rolls a 23 plus whatever modifier.
Nice.
Does it look like-
While Lyra and Zatina and Eldera are like examining the wagon, you hear Eldera tap on it. Boom, 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 boom. It's a wood and metal surface, so it's kind of got that hollow cauldron-like sound. So it sounds hollow inside. Bludgeon, all of these crates are filled with like exotic goods, like perfumes, spices, bolts of cloth, bolts of silk, and pottery, and these all feel like very like expensive general goods that would sell really well in the promenade. And it would seem that they come from all over the Midlands of Taldori, mostly from Kaimal and Turst Fields and Stilben. They've come a long way, and some of these items even hail from Wildmont and from Marquette. They're oh, I really debated whether or not how I was going to slip this in.
Bless you.
It would appear that some of the crates have a symbol on them that would denote them as being smuggled by a pirate group called the Red Tide.
There it is.
So definitely pirates have been involved in the smuggling of these goods into the city. There is one particular crate that catches your interest because inside of it is a gold-plated jewelry box. And the jewelry box is slightly popped open, and it is filled with pearls.
Grab that, Bludgeon. Grab it.
Does it look valuable?
Does it look what?
Pearls. It's filled with pearls. Grab it.
Oh,
I can't hear what you're saying because there's a loud fucking pigeon on my shoulder.
Bludgeon snaps the top of the box shut, and he takes it away.
Give me sleight of
With
hand
his gloves of
advantage.
thievery. With his gloves of thievery.
Oh, he is putting those bad
With
boys to
gloves.
work.
Yep. Grab the box. Way it goes.
What'd you get with your sleight of hand? You have advantage on the roll.
You're rolling. Hang on.
Shh. Shh.
27 plus whatever modifiers are existing.
Nice. Yeah, you grab onto it, and with deft fingers, you jam it into the interior of your coat pocket. Rymick, this place, this building feels like what you call a dead drop, where you put things with the intent of coming back for them later. So the use of this place is believed to be kept quite secret. While you find no hidden or kind of like secret way in and out, while you find nothing of specific concern to convince you that there's a physical presence of something, it's that moment that you realize, because you have some magical insight, this place is probably being scryed on. You just, without detect magic or detect invisibility, you wouldn't know that. But chances are this place is being scryed on. Your own little criminal intuition tells you that if you were in charge of a dead drop like this and you were hoarding a bunch of illicit and smuggled goods, somebody has probably been scrying on this place.
Yeah, I walk over to Aldera and I had this I can't shake the feeling that all of this is being observed, magically.
Then our faces are known.
Our faces were already known.
Satia's
Does
like,
it
not
look-
mine. I just met
I
you
know.
guys like
Yeah,
2 days ago.
right?
Perhaps we might be able to say hello. I like to the corners of the room just to it's
I'm glad to see you taking this seriously, but this means that there's going to be an ambush or they're going to try to
Yes.
stop us.
we need to be prepared, and we probably need to prepare those who are just not as heavily equipped. And I look at Lady Leflin, who died previously.
Yeah, but she was snuck
That
up
wasn't
on and
fair. She snuck up on me. I wasn't expecting you to bring tabaxi ambushes to my temple.
Well, they're going to be coming for us.
Yes,
Or
she
they're
just
going to be
gaslit you.
Yeah, she did gaslight us.
Cassandra always says, cast blame to others before yourself.
okay. Well, does it look like other than our party, there were others here between them killing the Etten and us coming back? other than
Lethwin
the group?
describes the place as being exactly the way you guys left it, the way you described it.
Okay.
And once she confirmed that the Doom Wagon was here, she sent for more city guards to help control the crowd, to act as escort. Lethwin's temple does have a holding facility that the wagon can be taken to.
So
Okay.
it's something we can do to kind of prepare or mitigate.
I was thinking
Opposition.
about maybe sending out Dustling to just kind of take a look. Just at least get an aerial view, see if there's anything that's starting to creep up on our next path.
Okay.
Before
How much do you think this
we-
thing weighs?
2 trillion metric tons.
Oh, that's really heavy.
You watch as Lethwin goes over the wooden panel. She presses it. She invokes the invisible servants. 6 invisible servants come out. And they begin to kind of magically adhere to it. They kind of grow in size. And she commands them and says forward. And they pull the wagon forward about 20 feet. Nothing happens other than they just pull it forward.
Do you think it weighs more than 1,000 pounds?
Yeah, it looks like it weighs more than 1,000 pounds. Yeah.
Okay.
before we take the wagon out of the warehouse, I will cast see invisibility.
Okay.
Ooh, does that mean she can see the invisible servants? What do they
Yeah,
look
they
like?
look like old retired sea workers, smoking cigarettes and drinking really bad coffee.
They're drinking coffee while pulling the wagon? Ugh,
I don't
weird.
understand why we keep getting summoned for this shit. It's like they don't want us to die. I don't get it. Oh shit, that one can see us. Put on the act. And they
What's
turn
that
back
sea
into globes.
shanty song in beginning of Frozen?
Oh yeah.
Popeye the Sailor Man did not age well.
Well, I kind of want to disguise the wagon. We have the tarp over it and stuff, but it still looks incredibly odd. Is there a way
Well,
to maybe
We're
using
gonna have an escort.
craft?
We're gonna have an escort of 4 cobalt souls with us, a contingent of 6 city guard, as well as 2 of my Templars escorting me personally. I will be traveling with you as well. I'm going to operate under the assumption that if we look too big of a target, that maybe they'll simply wait for another opportunity at another time. If we can get this successfully isolated and away, get the message off to Michael's uncle Percy, at least getting all that done today will put us in a much more advantageous position. Put them on ground of our choosing, not theirs.
I agree. Duskling dear, you mind flying up,
Hopefully Micah's not
looking
into
around?
it.
He watches it takes off and starts flying around. Are you going to warg through it or give it instructions to go?
I'll work
look
through
for
it actually, just
Okay.
to.
during the escort?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So everyone pick a skill. I think Aldera's going to warg through her imp. For
I will
this
turn to
escort
Rennick.
journey. What's that?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm going to take
Oh.
Aldira's hand and put it on my shoulder and walk in front of her.
Oh, okay. I was thinking I could sit on the wagon, but I was just gonna turn to Rymick and say,
I don't
"Can you
think-
have my
Are
back
there
here?"
seats?
Well, no, keep in mind, they're escorting everything. Like the other 6 wagons, the crates of stolen goods. So, like, all that's being taken over to Lethwin's holding
So
facility.
it's just going to be in the middle looking like another wagon of stolen goods.
Sorry,
Correct.
what did you say, Eldora? I'm sorry.
Oh, just to have my back, because I'm not going to be able to see.
So this will be a group effort. Everybody pick. We'll do it a little different with Eldera because she's going to be warging through her familiar. Everybody else, God damn it, Xander, you found it first. I was looking for that. Everybody go ahead and pick a skill that you want to use for this escort. The escort's going to take about an hour, so you only have to make the skill check once. Pick a skill you want to use and then describe how you want to use that skill, and then you'll make a difficulty check against that effort. That will determine a degree of success and failure during the escort.
Well, I'm really stealthy, so I guess I would try to go up on the rooftops, following them,
Okay.
and keeping time with them, and getting a bird's eye view of that.
Okay.
I guess would probably be the best thing for me to do.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a stealth check for that. I'm assuming that's skill you want to use, or do you want to use perception?
With guidance. With guidance.
No, I think. Well, I suppose it would be perception, wouldn't it?
If it's a better skill set for you, plus you'd have height, so you'd have advantage on your perception roll.
Okay. So
I'm going to use survival.
16.
16. Okay. How are you using survival, Lyra?
I am going to look for areas that they could potentially ambush us.
Okay. Give me a survival check.
What is 13 plus 6? 19 plus my d4, because I can guidance myself. 4.
23.
23.
Nice. Zatina, what are you doing?
Since I have see invisibility up, investigating, because I would imagine they're shooing, the looky loos
Populace?
away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyone who's invisible, obviously, or anyone who's either trying way too hard to see
Scribe
what's
bubbles.
going on, or
Yeah.
trying really, really hard to not be noticed.
Gotcha. Give me investigation with advantage as a baseline.
19.
Okay. And of course, actively doing detect invisibility as well. Bludgeon, how are you helping with this little escort mission back to Lethwin's holding facility?
I'm walking alongside the invisible servants.
Okay.
Nobody gets to that control box, and I'm going to intimidate. Hand on the longsword, ready to go.
Yeah, give me an
Intimidation.
intimidation check on that one. I love that idea. Don't fuck with me. I kill Ettins in their sleep.
See that giant Etten body? I did that.
Dirty 20, plus
20.
any modifiers.
Guidance.
Nice.
Guidance.
Hints. Get a D4 on that.
Guidance.
What?
Guidance.
What should I do?
Roll a D4 and then add it to the 20.
There it goes.
I just realized you have a new focus there, Callista.
2.
We may have to mail real dice to Neil.
Yes.
22.
So a total of 22 on the roll. The journey is rather well coordinated and well executed. Lyra, using Rymic's help, Rymic is scouting up ahead and pointing to areas that might be choke points or opportunities. Lyra then moves on ahead and validates whether or not these areas are too dangerous. And with that, Zatina, as you scan the crowd and Aldera is being guided on one of the other wagons and keeping an eye out, the hour goes by relatively unmolested. It just, the hour swings by. No one attempts. No one's invisible. Nothing happens. The journey seems quite well coordinated. And before long, all of you end up in the central district. You end up at the holding facility alongside the temple structure of Lethwins. All the wagons, including the Doom wagon, are brought inside the stone structure. 2 Cobalt Soul guards are set in place. And before long, all of you kind of like settle into Lethwin's, in the pews once again. Eldira, just as you were coming out of your warg in with your familiar, after all the wagons were brought in and you're pulling, because he's 100 feet up in the air, so he's circling up in the air. Just as you're about to pull him in and everyone's getting ready to walk into the temple and settle in, you can see a very long, like you know how when the sun sets on the waterline and there's a blast of orange light just as it's setting, because that last hour of the journey would bring us like right into dark. Just as your familiar starts circling down towards you, it catches a glimpse out of its eye off on the waterline way beyond the docks, just in time to see a series of cannonade explosions, a rather tall column of smoke spiraling out of the Emon Bay as the Gilded Grace is currently on fire and being attacked. And that's where we're going to finish tonight. It's always something, isn't it? Just when you think you have everything under control and we're going to earn that 1,500, like, oh shit, the guy who's going to pay us is on that boat. Now what?
No, that's even worse. We need the money. I want a portable hole.
All right, you guys go ahead and linger so we can talk about the schedule. Everybody else, thank you for coming out and watching. My understanding was YouTube was having lots of problems today, so I'm not even sure anyone saw us tonight. So they'll at least see our after video later. Other than that, be kind, be safe, and don't forget, play a game, everybody. We'll see you next week. Good night.
A shadow stirs on the mountain high. Whispers dance where the eagles fly. The earth it hums, a warning cry. The world awaits the break of dawn.